The vast blackness of space stretched endlessly, but at its edge, a fleet of alien warships glinted coldly under distant starlight. They moved with precision, with the confidence of a species that believed itself supreme. Their engines hummed low, sending vibrations through the void as they descended toward a distant planet, known to them only as the Deathworld, a name that promised danger, but not the one they were about to encounter. The aliens had prepared for months, scanning, planning, and strategizing. Every calculation led them to one conclusion: humans would fall easily to the horrors awaiting them. Humans were fragile, unprepared, overconfident in their own resilience. But they had not counted on the unexpected. They had not counted on the human spirit. As the first warships breached the atmosphere, a shudder ran through the hulls. The planet's sky was a swirling cauldron of dark, toxic clouds that shifted and pulsed like a living being. Lightning flashed, not ordinary lightning, but pulses of energy that danced along invisible currents, striking the surface without warning. Gravity itself fluctuated. A moment of weightlessness, followed by sudden crushing force, disoriented the aliens. The Deathworld was alive, sentient, or at least it felt that way, and every alien aboard their craft could feel the strange pull of its unpredictability. Below, enormous shapes stirred in the shadowed valleys and jagged mountain ranges. Massive creatures, with chitinous armor glinting in the dim light and eyes that reflected intelligence beyond simple instinct, began to move. Some slithered across the volcanic plains, their enormous tentacles probing the atmosphere. Others burrowed underground, sensing vibrations from the descending ships. Their movements were deliberate, calculated, predatory. The Deathworld was not merely a hostile environment, it was a predator, and it had waited a long time for intruders. From orbit, human satellites blinked and hissed as strange electromagnetic surges interfered with their signals. The aliens, confident in their superior technology, failed to anticipate this. Every scanner, every targeting system, every long-range weapon misfired. Signals that should have been precise were scrambled. Communications garbled. Panic began to ripple through the alien ranks, a subtle tremor at first, then a rising wave as one misfire led to another. Even the most seasoned alien captains began to suspect that something was amiss. And then, humans appeared. Not in their massive warships, not in visible formations, but hidden. In the shadows. Camouflaged in the jagged cliffs, beneath the acidic rivers, in caves where sensors could not penetrate. Small squads, lightly armed but highly trained, observed the alien movements with calm precision. They were invisible to the alien scanners, but fully aware of every motion, every pulse of energy, every plan. "Report," Commander Marcus Hale's voice rang across the hidden human observation deck, calm but sharp. His eyes never left the holographic display. "Status on the descent." Lieutenant Kira Voss, crouched in a camouflaged ravine, tapped her console. "They've breached atmosphere. Sensors indicate some misfires, strange turbulence. They are disoriented. The planet is affecting their systems. We are ready, sir." Hale's lips curved into a faint smile. "Good. Remember, this is the moment the aliens underestimate us. Every misstep they make is a chance for humanity to survive, and more importantly, to fight back. Stay hidden. Observe. Learn. Prepare to strike." The aliens were confident, and that confidence was their weakness. Their weapon systems, designed for precise planetary assaults, misfired repeatedly. Energy beams that should have cut through stone and metal fizzled against the strange magnetic distortions. Explosive rounds detonated prematurely, some even backfiring and damaging alien craft. Panic spread subtly at first. Whispers, urgent messages, calculations repeated frantically. The first death among the aliens, a scout drone that crashed violently into a volcanic fissure, sent tremors of fear through their ranks. Human squads began to move. Not in open combat, but in subtle ways, using the Deathworld itself as a weapon. Camouflaged motion sensors triggered ambushes. Natural predators, harnessed through years of human adaptation, were released strategically. One enormous creature, a predator of the lava plains, surged toward an alien scouting ship, its massive claws tearing through armor no human weapon could penetrate. Another, a burrowing nightmare, erupted from the ground beneath a convoy, tossing alien soldiers like ragdolls. The aliens were learning the hard way: the Deathworld was no ordinary planet, and humans were its masters. Captain Elias Trent led a squad through the acidic marshes, his heart steady but every muscle tense. Keep low. Keep silent. Let the planet do its work. The moment they think they are safe, we strike. Humans survive because we plan, because we endure, because we adapt. Remember that. The first alien skirmish teams, confident in their firepower, stumbled into these traps. Explosions echoed through the valleys as hidden charges, bioactivated and precisely timed, tore through formations. Alien warriors screamed in panic as the planet itself seemed to rise against them. Rocks shifted, toxic gases hissed, and enormous predators lurked in every shadow. The Deathworld had become a weapon in human hands, and humanity had turned the tables on the invaders. From above, Hale monitored the electromagnetic fluctuations. They think they are superior. They think technology alone will win this battle. They have no idea what survival means to us. His voice was calm, but behind it lay a storm of emotion. Pride. Fear. Determination. Every human aboard the hidden stations felt the same. The Deathworld was dangerous, terrifying, and merciless. But it was also human territory. It was home to their ancestors' training grounds, and now it was the proving ground where humans would show their true power. Aliens faltered. Panic spread faster now. Weapons misfired. Communication broke down. The Deathworld itself seemed to fight alongside the humans, every predator, every shifting landscape, every toxic wind working against the invaders. For the first time, the aliens realized the horrifying truth: humans were far deadlier than they had imagined. They did not merely survive, they mastered the Deathworld. They used its dangers as tools, its predators as allies, its terrain as traps. Squads of humans moved silently through the valleys, marking targets, adjusting traps, and preparing for the next phase of combat. Every heartbeat, every breath, every careful movement was calculated. They had trained for years in environments more deadly than anything the aliens could imagine. They had endured challenges no other species could survive. And now, they were about to make their first strike. Prepare the ambush points, Hale instructed. The first strike is coming. Let them feel the Deathworld. Let them learn fear. Let them remember humans. In the alien ranks, officers scrambled, trying to regain control. But it was too late. The Deathworld, combined with human strategy and ingenuity, had already claimed its first victories. A scout vessel spiraled out of control, crashing into a toxic lake. Another, attempting to land, was met by a massive predator emerging from the ground. Alien soldiers, trained for war across galaxies, were being decimated by creatures they had dismissed as mere fauna. And yet, the humans were not finished. From hidden caves, high cliffs, and dense forests, they watched, studied, and waited. Every alien misstep was a lesson. Every Deathworld hazard was a tool. Every creature was a weapon. Hale's voice echoed one final time across the hidden stations. This is only the beginning. They came thinking humans would fall. They came thinking the Deathworld was a challenge. They are wrong. The planet is ours, and so are the rules of survival. Watch, learn, strike, survive. That is the human way. The stage was set. Panic spread through alien ranks. The Deathworld, terrifying and alive, had revealed its true purpose. And humans, masters of adaptation, courage, and ingenuity, were about to unleash a war the universe would never forget. The first battle had not even begun, yet humanity had already claimed the upper hand. The aliens, confident and arrogant, had underestimated their opponents. They had not counted on the horrors of the planet being turned against them. They had not counted on humans surviving the unimaginable. They had not counted on the HFY spirit, the relentless courage, ingenuity, and heart that no weapon, no terrain, and no predator could destroy. From the shadows, humans prepared their first strike, every heartbeat synchronized with the rhythm of the Deathworld itself. The aliens were about to learn the first, brutal lesson of war with humans: survive the horrors, or be destroyed by them. And in the distance, the sun rose over jagged mountains, reflecting off rivers of toxic acid and the writhing shapes of predators. The Deathworld was alive, deadly, and now, under human guidance, it was the ultimate weapon against the invaders. The stage was set. The war had begun. And humanity, hidden, clever, and fearless, was ready to show the galaxy the true meaning of survival. The Deathworld trembled under the weight of approaching alien forces. The invaders, confident in their numbers and technology, advanced in tight formations, their massive war machines grinding across volcanic plains and jagged hills. The air shimmered with heat, acid mist rising from cracked rivers, yet the humans moved silently, unseen, watching every alien step. Every movement, every miscalculation of the enemy, was recorded, studied, and remembered. Lieutenant Kira Voss crouched in a narrow canyon, her eyes scanning the alien column ahead. Sweat ran down her face, but her expression remained calm, precise, determined. "They think they control the ground," she whispered into her comms. "But they haven't seen this world. They haven't felt its hunger. And they certainly haven't felt human wrath." Captain Elias Trent, stationed on a high cliff overlooking the plain, adjusted his scope. Through the hazy, acidic air, he watched the alien troops march, unaware that death waited silently beneath their feet. "Everyone," he said, voice steady but urgent, "remember why we are here. Remember who we are. This planet tests us. It kills the unprepared. But it also rewards the clever, the brave, the patient. Let's show them what humanity means." The first trap was set in the narrow pass, a natural choke point where alien war machines would have to slow, exposing their weak points. Explosive fungi, carefully cultivated over decades, were rigged to detonate on vibration. Predators, hidden in rocky outcroppings and shadowed valleys, awaited the signal to strike. The Deathworld itself seemed to hold its breath, as if aware that the coming moments would define the future of life on the planet. The aliens entered the pass, massive and confident, scanning for threats. Their leader, a sharp-eyed commander known as Varkon, tapped a holographic console. "This is too easy," he muttered. "Where are the humans? They cannot resist the Deathworld. They cannot survive its horrors. They are weak. They always die." But the humans had learned patience. The first detonation shook the canyon. Explosive fungi erupted, tearing through alien vehicles. Screams echoed as soldiers were thrown from their transport units. A massive predator, camouflaged perfectly against the rocky walls, leapt onto a war machine, ripping metal and flesh alike. Aliens scrambled, disoriented, realizing for the first time that their calculations had failed. The Deathworld was alive, dangerous, and now, under human control, it was lethal. From the shadows, Lieutenant Voss gave the command. "Engage." Squads surged forward, not in overwhelming numbers, but with precise, surgical strikes. They used the terrain, the creatures, and the enemy's own confusion against them. Every shot counted. Every move was calculated. Humans struck with ingenuity, turning fear into weaponry. Alien forces tried to regroup, firing energy pulses blindly, but the canyon reflected, absorbed, and redirected the blasts. Predators lunged, acidic gases erupted, and the humans moved like shadows, everywhere at once, yet unseen. Captain Trent moved among his squads, directing attacks, ensuring that every alien misstep was exploited. "Don't underestimate the planet," he reminded them. "Don't underestimate yourselves. Humans endure. Humans fight. Humans survive." Casualties were inevitable. Several human soldiers fell to the alien counterattacks, their bodies struck by energy beams, their blood sizzling against the acidic ground. Yet each loss strengthened the resolve of the remaining. Every fallen comrade became a symbol, a reminder that humanity was not weak, not fragile, not easily broken. Lieutenant Voss felt the sting of loss, but she steeled herself, using grief as fuel for precision. "We fight for them," she whispered. "We survive for them. We endure for them." The aliens, unprepared for guerrilla tactics, found themselves trapped between the merciless terrain and the relentless humans. Every miscalculation was punished. Every hesitation was exploited. The Deathworld, previously assumed to be a neutral hazard, had become an ally to those who understood it. The humans had mastered survival on a planet designed to kill, and their enemies were learning that mastery could be deadly. As night fell, thick, phosphorescent fog rolled across the canyon, reducing visibility to mere meters. Humans used it to their advantage, striking and disappearing, leaving alien forces in chaos. Energy pulses flared, alien screams echoed, and predators fed, guided by the human strategic brilliance. The first ambush had achieved what the humans desired, a decisive psychological blow. The aliens were not just hurt, they were terrified. They realized for the first time that humans were not weak, that Deathworld was not their enemy alone, and that the humans would use every horror the planet offered to survive and dominate. Captain Trent watched from his perch as the alien commander Varkon tried to issue orders through a disrupted comm system. Every command failed, every plan collapsed. The aliens were disoriented, panicked, and unsure of what was real. The Deathworld moved unpredictably, reacting to both aliens and humans, amplifying every fear, every mistake, every hesitation. Humans thrived in the chaos, turning it into an unstoppable force. Squads moved silently through shadowed valleys, using alien miscalculations as weapons. Lieutenant Voss led a team to a high ridge, signaling predators to descend upon a transport line. Aliens screamed as massive creatures tore through their ranks. Another squad triggered a network of acid geysers and explosive plants, sending alien forces scattering. Every ambush, every strike, every maneuver was perfectly executed. Humanity had turned the Deathworld into an extension of its will, and the aliens realized, too late, that their arrogance was their undoing. Hours passed, filled with tension, blood, and cunning strategy. Humans adapted to every alien tactic, predicting, anticipating, and countering with creativity. The aliens were forced into retreat, their confidence shattered. Panic spread like wildfire through their ranks. The Deathworld had proven that intelligence, courage, and understanding of the environment were far more deadly than technology alone. At the center of the ambush, Lieutenant Voss paused, surveying the aftermath. Bodies, machines, and scorched terrain littered the canyon, yet human casualties were minimal. Her squad had endured, adapted, and survived. She whispered, almost to herself, "We are humans. We survive. We fight. We endure. No force in the galaxy can break that." Captain Trent contacted all squads. Phase 1 complete. Maintain positions. Recover the wounded. Prepare for their next move. The Deathworld is our ally, and it has already claimed its first victories through us. Remember this moment, the first ambush. Remember how humans fight. Remember how humans survive. The alien forces withdrew to the edges of the canyon, shocked, confused, and terrified. They had encountered not just enemies, but a planet itself that moved against them, and humans who thrived in its horrors. Every surviving alien soldier would remember this day, not for the Deathworld's danger alone, but for the ruthless, precise, and fearless nature of humanity. As dawn broke, pale light filtering through toxic clouds, the humans regrouped. Survivors tended to wounds, mourned losses, and reflected on the first ambush success. The Deathworld had been a trial by fire, yet humanity had prevailed. Every heartbeat, every breath, every drop of sweat had contributed to survival. The humans had not only fought, they had triumphed, and the galaxy would soon learn that the horrors of a planet could become a weapon when wielded by Earth's finest. The first ambush had ended. But the war had only begun. And the aliens would soon realize a terrifying truth: humans do not merely survive Deathworlds, they master them. Humans endure where others perish. Humans fight with courage, intelligence, and heart. And humans never, ever back down. The first ambush had shattered the alien confidence. Their war machines lay twisted, smoking among the jagged rocks and acidic pools. Screams of alien soldiers echoed through the canyons, mingling with the howls of predators released by human strategy. Yet, the aliens were far from defeated. Rage burned in their eyes as they realized the humans were not just surviving, they were adapting, mastering, and turning the planet's horrors into weapons against them. Deep within the Deathworld's dense forests and jagged mountains, something stirred. Enormous creatures, unlike anything recorded in alien histories, began to move. These were the nightmare beasts, primordial predators that had survived eons in the planet's toxic landscapes, evolving into perfect killing machines. Some were the size of alien cruisers, with armored carapaces and venomous tentacles that could crush a man in seconds. Others could burrow at incredible speeds, emerging unexpectedly to tear apart vehicles and troops alike. Their eyes glowed with intelligence, reflecting an ancient understanding of hunters and prey. Lieutenant Kira Voss felt the hairs on her arms stand on end. She had trained for years for Deathworld encounters, yet even she could feel a thrill of fear. "Captain Trent," she whispered into her comm, voice steady but tense, "the beasts, they're moving. They're aware of us. And they're not just predators, they're organized. It's as if they know how to hunt the aliens specifically." Captain Elias Trent adjusted his scope, scanning the forest below. "They've been waiting for this," he muttered. "The aliens came with arrogance. They assumed technology alone would protect them. But the Deathworld has its own army. And now, it's choosing sides." The aliens, unprepared for creatures of this magnitude, advanced cautiously, energy pulses firing ahead to test the terrain. The nightmare beasts reacted instantly. One massive creature, covered in jagged armor plating, surged from a crater, slamming into an alien transport unit. The metal groaned and bent as soldiers screamed, thrown into the air. Acidic saliva hissed on the scorching ground. Another burrower erupted beneath an alien vehicle, flipping it violently. Chaos reigned. From hidden positions, human squads observed and coordinated attacks. Every action was precise, every strike calculated. Lieutenant Voss led a small team along the canyon ridge, signaling with hand gestures. Bioluminescent markers glowed softly in the dark, guiding predators toward alien columns. Explosive fungi, rigged from previous ambushes, were triggered remotely. Energy pulses from alien weapons were redirected by the terrain, often striking their own troops. "Let the planet do its work," Trent commanded. "Every beast, every hazard, every trap, it is ours now. They came to conquer, and they will fall. Not just to humans, but to the Deathworld itself." Alien forces tried to retreat, but the nightmare beasts were relentless. One enormous predator, with spiked tendrils and glowing eyes, chased down a fleeing alien squad, striking with lethal precision. Another, nearly invisible against the rocky landscape, ambushed reinforcements moving to aid their comrades. Panic spread faster than human weapons could. Alien morale shattered as they realized every move, every strategy, every formation was being undone not only by humans but by the Deathworld itself. The humans were not immune to danger. Several squads suffered casualties as the nightmare beasts struck unpredictably. Lieutenant Voss's squad narrowly escaped being torn apart by a burrowing predator that had emerged beneath them. Captain Trent's team faced a massive winged predator that swooped down, talons ready to strike. They fought with courage, using explosive charges and coordinated fire to survive. Every heartbeat, every breath, every drop of blood mattered. Emotions ran high. Humans mourned their fallen, but their grief fueled determination. Every soldier knew that they were not just fighting aliens, they were fighting to prove that humanity could endure the impossible. Lieutenant Voss crouched beside a fallen comrade, tears streaking her dirt-covered face. "We survive for them," she whispered. "We fight for them. We endure for them." The nightmare beasts, now fully active, began to anticipate alien strategies. Their movements suggested intelligence beyond instinct. Predators that had once hunted each other now coordinated attacks, tearing through alien ranks systematically. Energy weapons were no match for their speed, strength, and cunning. Aliens tried to regroup, but every step forward brought them closer to devastation. Captain Trent directed human squads to exploit this. "Use them," he ordered. "Guide the beasts. Force the aliens into choke points. Every move they make is predictable if you understand the Deathworld. This is our advantage. The nightmare beasts are our allies. Respect them. Fear them. And let them destroy our enemies." Alien Commander Varkon roared orders, but his soldiers were too scattered, too terrified. The nightmare beasts struck with precision, attacking the most vulnerable first. Alien war machines were overturned, their energy shields shattered by sheer force or acid corrosion. Screams echoed across the valley as soldiers fled in disarray. The alien strategy was collapsing under the combined power of humans and Deathworld horrors. Hours turned into a tense, unrelenting night. Humans moved silently, repairing, repositioning, and observing. Every predator, every ambush, every natural hazard was incorporated into their plans. They did not merely survive, they adapted, mastered, and controlled the chaos. Lieutenant Voss and her squad pushed forward through a narrow ravine, where glowing, venomous plants lined the walls. One misstep could mean death, yet they navigated flawlessly. Explosions signaled human strikes elsewhere, predators attacked alien reinforcements, and alien morale crumbled further. "We are humanity," Voss said softly to herself, "and no planet, no beast, no force will break us." Captain Trent's voice cut through the comms, calm but commanding. "Phase 2 is underway. The nightmare beasts have done what technology could not. Alien forces are fractured, terrified, and disorganized. They must retreat, or die. We have shown them that humans do not merely survive Deathworlds, we dominate them. By the end of the night, the first major wave of alien invaders was decimated. Human casualties were minimal compared to the alien losses, but every loss was felt deeply. The Deathworld had claimed a few, as it always would, but humanity had survived, adapted, and emerged victorious. The nightmare beasts, once feared, had become instruments of human strategy, a terrifying weapon against those who underestimated Earth's defenders. As dawn broke over the jagged peaks, humans regrouped, tending wounds, honoring fallen comrades, and reflecting on the first true trial of the Deathworld. The aliens had been defeated, yes, but they would return. And humanity, hardened by the planet's horrors, was ready. Every heartbeat, every breath, every act of courage on this night would echo across the galaxy. Humans had faced unimaginable predators, controlled forces that no other species could command, and survived. Captain Trent looked over the valley, the rising sun reflecting on rivers of toxic acid and the writhing forms of the nightmare beasts. We endure. We survive. We fight. We are humans. And this, he said, voice filled with pride and fire, is only the beginning. The aliens would learn, as all enemies eventually did, that humans were not just resilient, they were unstoppable. They could harness the horrors of a planet, survive the unimaginable, and turn death itself into a weapon. The HFY spirit burned brighter than ever, and the galaxy would remember this day. Humanity had claimed the Deathworld. Humanity had tamed its nightmares. And humanity had proven, once again, that no force in the universe could crush the courage of Earth's people. The sun barely pierced through the thick, toxic clouds of the Deathworld as alien forces began to regroup. Their losses had been staggering, their morale shattered, but vengeance burned in their hearts. Commander Varkan's eyes glowed with fury as he surveyed the aftermath of the first ambush. Scorched war machines lay twisted in canyons, alien soldiers groaning in pain and confusion. Every step of this planet had been a lesson in humility, yet they refused to yield. They think this is enough. Varkan hissed, his voice carrying over the damaged bridge of his flagship. They think humans are fragile. That a planet's horrors could break them. I will show them the true cost of defiance. Below, human squads regrouped. Lieutenant Kira Voss crouched beside her wounded team, administering first aid and checking weaponry. The losses were few, but every soldier mattered. Every life was precious. We survived the night, she murmured, voice quiet but determined. And we will survive the day. Humanity does not break, and we do not falter. Captain Elias Trent's eyes scanned the horizon. From the distant ridges, the alien fleet began to move, reorganizing into new formations. Their weapons were recalibrated, energy shields restored, and their confidence renewed, though not entirely. The aliens knew now that humans could not be underestimated. But vengeance was a powerful motivator, and they would strike harder, faster, and with greater cruelty. Prepare the defensive lines, Trent ordered, his voice firm but calm. They will come. And when they do, we will not merely fight. We will show them why humanity survives when all others perish. The first signs of the counteroffensive appeared as alien war machines rumbled across the plains. Massive walkers, armed with pulse cannons and energy lances, moved with terrifying precision. Flying units hovered above, scanning for human positions. Yet even as they advanced, they were unaware that the Deathworld itself had learned. Every valley, ridge, and canyon had been observed. Every predator, every poisonous plant, every natural hazard was under human control. The planet had become both shield and sword. Lieutenant Voss and her squad moved along the ridge, adjusting traps and coordinating with other teams. A network of explosive fungi, rigged along the alien path, pulsed with deadly potential. Enormous predators, guided by subtle signals, waited to strike with lethal precision. The humans had turned the Deathworld into a battlefield of terror and strategy. The aliens advanced, confident yet cautious. Their first salvo of energy pulses struck the canyon floor, but miscalculations caused many shots to detonate prematurely, damaging their own forces. Panic began to ripple among their ranks. Commander Varkan growled, issuing orders to redirect fire, but every move seemed to fail. The Deathworld was punishing them, and humans were orchestrating every attack like a master conductor guiding an orchestra of destruction. From hidden cliffs, Captain Trent observed the unfolding chaos. "Watch carefully," he said into his comms. "They strike with arrogance. They strike with anger. But they are predictable. Every action has a reaction. Every fear has a weakness. Exploit it. Remember, we are not just defending, we are controlling the battlefield." The first wave of nightmare beasts surged forward. These creatures, once merely predators, now acted with calculated purpose. They tore through alien ranks, striking precisely at the most vulnerable machines and soldiers. Winged predators swooped down, talons ripping through armor. Burrowing beasts erupted from the ground, overturning transports and scattering squads. Acidic sprays hissed against alien shields, corroding metal in seconds. The Deathworld was alive, and its fury was guided by humans. Yet the aliens were relentless. They deployed advanced drones, hunting for predators and human squads. Energy lances carved through forests, burning trees and vaporizing plants. Screams of alien soldiers echoed, mingling with the roars of the nightmare beasts. Panic and fury collided in a chaotic storm of war. Human soldiers fought with unmatched precision. Every move was calculated, every strike intentional. Lieutenant Voss led a flanking maneuver, signaling winged beasts to descend upon a rear alien squad. Explosions erupted as alien war machines were torn apart. Another squad triggered hidden acid geysers along a ridge, halting an advancing column. The aliens began to realize that every Deathworld hazard, every predator, and every human soldier was a weapon of unparalleled efficiency. Amid the chaos, emotions ran high. Soldiers grieved for comrades lost, yet their sorrow became fuel. Every loss strengthened their resolve. Kira Voss crouched beside a fallen teammate, whispering through tears, "We fight for them. We endure for them. We survive for them." Her words carried across the comms to other squads, a quiet but powerful reminder of why humans fought. Captain Trent coordinated with surgical precision, guiding squads and beasts alike. "Push them into the canyons," he instructed. "Force them into traps. Every step they take, every choice they make, we control it. Humanity is not fragile. Humanity survives when all else fails. Humanity wins where others perish." The aliens faltered. Commander Varkan's attempts to coordinate counterattacks were constantly disrupted. Drones were destroyed, columns scattered, and reinforcements ambushed. The Deathworld itself seemed to fight alongside humanity, its predators striking with intelligence, its terrain shifting against intruders. Every step forward became a battle of attrition, not just against human weapons but against the planet itself. Hours passed, filled with tension, strategy, and violence. Alien casualties mounted, their confidence shattered once more. They had hoped to regain the upper hand, but every move was anticipated, every weakness exploited. Human ingenuity, combined with the raw fury of the Deathworld, had created a force beyond imagination. By nightfall, the aliens began a retreat. Their forces were scattered, their morale fractured, and their sense of superiority shattered. The Deathworld had revealed itself not as an obstacle, but as a weapon under human control. Humanity had survived, adapted, and triumphed, and the aliens would remember this day as the first lesson in humility. Captain Trent surveyed the battlefield from a high ridge. Smoke rose from destroyed war machines, predators prowled among the wreckage, and human squads moved silently, tending to the wounded. "We have won this phase," he said softly, eyes reflecting both pride and grief. "But the war is far from over. They will return, stronger, angrier, but we will endure. We will fight. We will survive. That is humanity. That is the human way." Lieutenant Voss looked at the horizon, the Deathworld's toxic sun casting an eerie glow over the ravaged plains. "We are humans," she whispered. "And no force in the galaxy can break us. We survive horrors, we master them, and we strike back with all we have. They will never forget this. We will never forget this." The first counteroffensive had failed. The aliens had learned fear, confusion, and humility. They had encountered humans who could survive unimaginable conditions, wield the Deathworld itself as a weapon, and endure losses without breaking. Humanity's courage, ingenuity, and relentless spirit had been tested, and they had passed with flying colors. The Deathworld was not just a planet, it was a crucible, a proving ground, and a silent ally. Humanity had survived its horrors, turned its predators into allies, and transformed chaos into a battlefield of advantage. And as long as humans endured, no alien force could claim victory. The war was far from over. The aliens would regroup, strategize, and strike again. But humans had shown their strength, and the galaxy had begun to learn the first lesson of facing Earth's defenders. Humans survive, adapt, and conquer where all others fail. Captain Trent's voice carried across all comms, steady and commanding. Rest. Recover. Prepare. The next wave will come, but we are ready. Humanity does not break. Humanity does not fear. Humanity fights, and humanity endures. The Deathworld groaned softly beneath their feet, alive and eternal, a silent witness to the courage and brilliance of Earth's champions. And in its shadows, humans prepared for the battles yet to come. Dawn broke over the Deathworld, painting the jagged peaks in sickly green and yellow light that filtered through thick, toxic clouds. The first wave of alien attacks had been repelled, but the humans knew better than to assume victory. Every corner of the planet held unseen threats, every shadow could hide a predator, and every alien was still alive and angry. Yet the human spirit, forged through countless trials, refused to falter. Captain Elias Trent stood on the ridge, scanning the battlefield with unwavering focus. They think they can regroup. They think they can strike again and break us, he said into the comms. But they do not understand Earth's children. They do not understand the Deathworld. We strike when they least expect it. Humanity fights with heart, with mind, and with courage no alien can imagine. Lieutenant Kira Voss adjusted her visor, eyes narrowing as she observed alien movements from a hidden vantage point. Drones hovered tentatively near the wreckage of their failed counteroffensive. Soldiers tried to reorganize behind battered war machines, shielding their wounds with hastily erected energy barriers. "Captain," she whispered, voice tense with anticipation, "they're consolidating, but they're overconfident. They don't know what's coming." "Then we show them," Trent replied. "Every tactic, every trap, every predator, they are weapons. Every shadow, every canyon, every volcanic fissure is a battlefield. Let's remind them why humans endure." The plan was simple yet deadly. Humans would lure the aliens into narrow passes, canyons filled with the Deathworld's natural hazards and predators, then strike with overwhelming precision. Each human squad knew its role: flank, distract, or strike. Every predator had a signal, every explosive trap had a trigger, and every squad communicated silently, a network of coordination that no alien could decipher. The first move came from the cliffs. A single energy pulse detonated a line of explosive fungi, sending shards of rock and alien metal flying into the sky. Alien soldiers screamed as their vehicles were torn apart, engines exploding in fireballs. From the shadows, winged predators dove, talons slashing through armor. Acidic sprays hissed against shields, corroding metal faster than any weapon could. Panic spread like wildfire. Lieutenant Voss's team surged forward, using the chaos as cover. They struck with precision, disabling alien energy generators and sabotaging communication arrays. Every movement was deliberate, every shot calculated. Even under fire, the humans remained composed, their courage unwavering. In the canyons below, Captain Trent directed a massive ambush. Burrowing nightmare beasts erupted from the ground, tearing apart alien reinforcements. Their massive claws shredded armor, their fangs punctured energy shields, and their glowing eyes reflected an intelligence that was almost supernatural. Predators coordinated with human squads, striking alien columns from multiple angles. The battlefield became a symphony of destruction, with humans and Deathworld horrors working in perfect harmony. The aliens fought desperately, but their formations were fractured, their morale breaking with every loss. Commander Varkon roared orders, attempting to coordinate attacks, but every plan was anticipated. The Deathworld itself seemed to guide the humans, moving predators, shifting terrain, and amplifying the chaos against alien ranks. Human casualties were minimal, but the emotional toll was heavy. Each fallen comrade left a scar on the hearts of those who survived. Lieutenant Voss paused beside a fallen soldier, tears streaking her soot-covered face. "We fight for them," she whispered. "We endure for them. We survive for them." Her words echoed through the comms, reaching other squads and inspiring them to press forward with renewed determination. Captain Trent's mind worked faster than any machine. He coordinated squads, predators, and terrain with surgical precision. Push them toward the volcanic fissures, he ordered. Force them into the natural traps. Every misstep they make will be their undoing. Humanity does not merely survive Deathworlds, we dominate them. We turn death into a weapon. The aliens were being ground down, their losses mounting with every passing hour. Massive war machines were overturned, energy shields shattered, and soldiers were flung into the toxic rivers below. Panic had replaced confidence. Varkan's anger grew, but it only made his forces more reckless. Every miscalculation was exploited, every hesitation punished. Amid the battle, the humans displayed not just skill, but heart. They carried wounded comrades through fire and venom, never leaving anyone behind. Medic squads moved with courage, defying predators and alien fire alike to save lives. Each act of bravery strengthened the collective spirit of the humans. They were not fighting for glory, they were fighting for survival, for each other, and for the future of their species. Night fell, but the war did not pause. Explosions illuminated the toxic clouds, casting eerie shadows across the canyon walls. Energy pulses clashed with fire and acid, predators roared, and humans moved like ghosts through the chaos. Every squad executed maneuvers with precision, luring alien forces into traps and ensuring that the Deathworld's horrors struck relentlessly. By the end of the night, the aliens were in full retreat. Their formations shattered, their morale broken, and their confidence obliterated. The humans had not just defended, they had dominated. Every trap, every predator, every human strike had contributed to an unrelenting wave of destruction. The Deathworld itself had become an extension of human will, a living weapon against invaders who dared underestimate Earth's champions. Captain Trent surveyed the battlefield, pride and sorrow mingling in his eyes. Smoke rose from destroyed war machines, predators prowled among the wreckage, and human squads regrouped, tending to the wounded and honoring the fallen. "We have shown them what humanity means," he said softly. "Courage, intelligence, resilience. We survive when others fail. We fight when others falter. And we endure when all hope seems lost." Lieutenant Voss looked toward the horizon, where alien reinforcements might appear at any moment. "We are humans," she whispered, voice firm despite exhaustion. "And no force in the galaxy can break us. We survive horrors, we master them, and we strike back with all we have. They will never forget this. We will never forget this." The Deathworld itself seemed to pulse in response, alive and eternal, a silent witness to humanity's triumph. Every predator, every explosive, every maneuver had been guided by courage, intelligence, and sheer will. Humanity had struck back, and in doing so, had sent a message to the galaxy. To face humans is to face death, cunning, and an unbreakable spirit. The war was far from over. The aliens would return, stronger and more determined. But humanity had shown its true strength. Every heartbeat, every drop of blood, every act of bravery on this night would echo across the stars. Humans did not merely survive Deathworlds, they mastered them. Humans did not merely fight aliens, they dominated them. And humanity would never, ever yield. The dust of the battlefield had barely settled when a new tension gripped the human forces. Captain Elias Trent stood on a jagged ridge, his eyes scanning the horizon, not for alien warships, but for something else, a subtle shift in the Deathworld itself. The air carried a new kind of weight, heavy with something unseen yet undeniably dangerous. The nightmare beasts, once guided and predictable, were restless, growling low, retreating into shadowed valleys. Their unease mirrored the human's own instincts. Something far worse was coming. "Captain," Lieutenant Kira Voss said urgently, pointing to the electromagnetic readings flickering across their instruments, "this isn't alien energy. Something else, something massive is moving beneath the planet's crust. The Deathworld itself is alive, but this is different. It's ancient. It's aware." Trent's jaw tightened. He had faced countless Deathworld threats, alien armadas, and predators engineered by evolution itself. But this sensation, the eerie, creeping awareness underfoot, was foreign. "Prepare all squads," he commanded, voice calm yet tense. "Defensive positions, ambush points, and every predator we can coordinate. If this planet has secrets, we will face them. Humanity does not flee. Humanity does not surrender. We survive, and we strike back." As night fell over the jagged canyons, the first signs of the hidden threat emerged. Tremors shook the ground, faint at first, then violent, tossing human squads to the side. The nightmare beasts howled, scattering into the shadows, yet they were not fleeing. Their eyes glowed with recognition, intelligence shining through primal instinct. Something was calling them. Something older than any predator or alien, a force that had slept undisturbed for millennia. Trent's squad moved cautiously along the ridge. "Stay alert," he warned. "We don't know what we're facing yet. But whatever it is, it respects nothing. Not technology, not tactics, not life." From the depths of the Deathworld, massive shapes began to rise. Gargantuan creatures, buried for centuries, clawed their way through molten rock and dense soil. Their skin shimmered like metallic stone, glowing faintly with bioluminescent veins. Each movement shook the earth, sending shockwaves across canyons, splitting rocks, and opening deep fissures. The very ground seemed to rebel, twisting, tearing, and reshaping as these titanic beings emerged. Lieutenant Voss's hands trembled as she observed the creatures. "Captain, these aren't animals. They're ancient guardians. Predators. Perhaps. But something intelligent. Calculating. They know we are here. They know they are being watched." Trent's mind raced. Humanity had mastered Deathworlds, turned horrors into allies, and outwitted alien invaders. Yet this new threat was beyond anything they had prepared for. "We adapt," he said firmly. "We survive. Every squad, every predator, every trap, use them. We turn fear into advantage. This is our world, and we will not yield." The hidden threat struck first, silently and with devastating force. Tremors erupted beneath an advancing human squad, throwing soldiers off their feet. Massive claws burst from the soil, ripping into vehicles, tearing apart weaponry, and scattering squads. The humans fired in all directions, energy blasts scorching the air, but the Titans moved with uncanny precision, avoiding the volleys as if anticipating every shot. Amid the chaos, emotions surged. Fear gripped the soldiers, but it was mingled with determination, courage, and unyielding resolve. Lieutenant Voss crouched beside a fallen teammate, blood streaking her dirt-covered face. "We endure for them," she whispered. "We fight for them. We survive for them." Her words spread through the comms, inspiring squads across the battlefield. Every heartbeat, every breath, every drop of blood counted. Captain Trent coordinated human forces with a strategic brilliance born of desperation. He deployed smaller squads as decoys, luring the Titans into traps set with explosive fungi, acid geysers, and strategically placed predators. Winged nightmare beasts swooped from above, talons striking at exposed limbs, while burrowing predators forced the Titans to misstep, triggering collapses and fissures. Every maneuver was deliberate, every strike deadly. Yet the hidden threat adapted quickly. Each Titan learned from every ambush, adjusting its attacks, moving with terrifying intelligence, and anticipating human tactics. Alien drones observing from orbit recorded this phenomenon with awe. Humanity's soldiers were not only surviving, they were orchestrating a battle against beings older than stars themselves. Hours passed in relentless tension. Each squad pushed forward cautiously, guiding Titans toward natural hazards and ambush points. Explosions rocked the ground, fires erupted from fissures, and acidic rivers hissed at alien and human alike. The Deathworld surface became a chaotic symphony of war, strategy, and raw survival instinct. Humanity's casualties were low compared to the magnitude of the threat, yet every loss struck deep. Lieutenant Voss wept silently over a fallen squadmate, whispering a promise: "Your courage lives in us. Your fight continues through our hands. We endure, for you." Her grief transformed into determination, her sorrow into focus. Humanity's spirit burned brighter than ever, fueled by loss and the will to survive. By dawn, the tide began to turn. Titans, though massive and intelligent, were being maneuvered into positions where human ingenuity and Deathworld's hazards could work in tandem. Explosions, collapsing cliffs, and predators forced the creatures to falter, their advance slowed, their coordination disrupted. Captain Trent's calm voice cut across the comms: "We adapt faster. We strike smarter. Every moment we survive is a victory. Humanity does not break. Humanity does not fear. Humanity dominates." The hidden threat, though still alive, had been contained, for now. Humanity had endured the first true test of Deathworld's deepest secrets. The Titans had forced humans to confront terror beyond imagination, yet they had survived, adapted, and orchestrated a deadly counterattack that showcased their courage, intelligence, and HFY spirit. Trent gazed across the battlefield. Smoke rose from fissures, predators prowled among the wreckage, and humans tended to their wounded. "We have faced what even Deathworld itself guards," he said softly. "We have survived horrors older than history. And we endure. Humanity is not merely alive, we are unstoppable." Lieutenant Voss, though exhausted, felt a surge of pride. "We fight for each other. We survive for each other. We endure for Earth itself. No force, no ancient power, no alien fleet, can stop us. We are humans. We survive. We fight. We dominate." The Deathworld pulsed quietly beneath their feet, a living witness to humanity's courage, strategy, and unbreakable spirit. And as night fell once more, humans prepared for the next wave of horrors, ready to face the ancient guardians, alien invaders, and anything the universe could throw at them. Humanity had proven once again that they did not merely survive, they conquered. The Deathworld trembled under the weight of the ancient Titans, but humanity refused to cower. Captain Elias Trent stood atop the highest ridge overlooking the chaos, his face grim but resolute. Every canyon, every fissure, every predator had been observed and studied. The hidden threat was powerful, ancient, and intelligent, but humans had something no alien or Titan could predict: strategy born of experience, courage tempered in fire, and a will to endure that surpassed fear. "Prepare the squads," Trent commanded, voice cutting through the comms with steel-like clarity. "We strike first. We strike smart. We strike hard. Every predator, every trap, every fissure is a weapon. Humanity dominates this battlefield, always has, always will." Lieutenant Kira Voss moved swiftly among her squads, her eyes sharp despite exhaustion. Soldiers checked weapons, predators were signaled into position, and explosive fungi were primed along predicted Titan paths. "Remember," she said, voice quiet but fierce, "we fight for each other. Every life lost strengthens our resolve. Every victory inspires us to endure. They think they can break us, but humanity breaks nothing but fear." The first strike was sudden. From hidden cliffs, massive energy pulses erupted, tearing through the air and sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Titans staggered as their metallic skin cracked under concentrated fire. Predators lunged from the shadows, their talons slashing, fangs puncturing armor, acid spraying with deadly accuracy. Alien observers, watching from orbit, recorded the events with disbelief. Humans had turned the Deathworld itself into a weapon of war, using predators, terrain, and explosives in perfect harmony. Captain Trent coordinated multiple squads with surgical precision. "Flank from the east," he ordered. "Push the Titans toward the volcanic fissures. Let the predators force them into traps. Every misstep they make will be their undoing." As the Titans moved into the kill zones, human squads advanced with terrifying efficiency. Burrowing predators erupted from the ground, tearing at legs and armor. Explosive fungi detonated with brutal timing, flipping Titans into jagged cliffs and fissures. Winged predators dove from above, striking at exposed limbs. Titans roared, shaking the ground with every movement, but humans remained relentless. Every maneuver was calculated, every strike deadly, every predator directed with the precision of a master tactician. Amid the chaos, emotions ran high. Soldiers who had faced unimaginable horrors now fought with a mixture of fear and courage, sorrow and determination. Lieutenant Voss carried a wounded comrade through fire and debris, refusing to leave him behind. "We survive together," she whispered, voice shaking but firm. "We endure for them, we fight for them. Humanity will not abandon its own." Captain Trent watched as human squads coordinated with Deathworld predators like a living network of destruction. He saw the effectiveness of combining intelligence with natural power. Titans that had once seemed unstoppable were now struggling, disoriented, and vulnerable. Every strike from humans was amplified by the planet itself, every trap executed with deadly precision. Hours passed in relentless combat. Titans fell into fissures, their massive forms crushed under the weight of the Deathworld's natural hazards. Alien drones observed helplessly as human soldiers executed maneuvers with unmatched skill, their every movement calculated to exploit weaknesses. Even the nightmares, creatures of legend, moved in perfect synchronization with squads, striking at critical points, tearing apart armor, and forcing Titans to falter. The humans suffered losses, but each death only strengthened the resolve of those who remained. Each fallen soldier became a symbol, a reminder that the fight was not for glory, but for survival, for Earth, and for the honor of those who could not continue. Lieutenant Voss stood over a fallen comrade, tears streaking her dirt-stained face. "Your fight continues," she whispered. "We survive because of you. We endure because of you. Humanity is stronger because of you." Captain Trent coordinated the final stages of the counterstrike. Squads moved in perfect harmony, predators guided to strike at weak points, explosive traps detonating with devastating timing. Titans were herded into natural hazards, caught between predators and collapsing cliffs, their intelligence unable to compensate for human ingenuity. The battlefield erupted in a symphony of destruction. Energy pulses, fire, acid, and the roar of predators combined into a cacophony of war. Alien forces on orbit watched in horror. Humans had transformed a hostile, ancient Deathworld into a perfect weapon of strategy and dominance. Every Titan brought to its knees, every alien machine destroyed, every predator guided with intelligence was a testament to humanity's unbreakable will. By nightfall, the counterstrike had reached its climax. Titans lay scattered, their massive forms broken, their intelligence unable to adapt to the combined might of humans and Deathworld. The alien invaders, who had once believed humans weak and fragile, now reeled in shock. Humanity had not only survived the hidden threat, they had dominated it. Captain Trent surveyed the battlefield, exhaustion and pride mingling in his gaze. Smoke rose from fissures, predators prowled among the wreckage, and human squads moved to recover the wounded and honor the fallen. "We have struck back," he said softly, voice carrying across comms. "We have shown them what humanity means: courage, intelligence, and resilience. We do not yield. We do not break. We endure, and we conquer." Lieutenant Voss looked to the horizon, the Deathworld's toxic sun casting an eerie glow over the battlefield. "We are humans," she whispered, voice steady despite fatigue. "No alien, no ancient force, no nightmare predator can stop us. We endure horrors, we master them, and we strike back with all our strength. They will never forget this. We will never forget this." The Deathworld pulsed softly beneath their feet, alive, eternal, and bearing witness to humanity's triumph. Humans had survived the hidden threat, turned it into an advantage, and delivered a counterstrike that would echo across the galaxy. Every heartbeat, every act of bravery, every drop of blood spilled in the battle became a testament. Humanity survives, adapts, and conquers. The war was far from over. The aliens would regroup, reinforce, and retaliate, but humanity had proven a truth that could not be denied. To face humans is to face courage beyond reason, intelligence beyond calculation, and an unbreakable spirit that refuses to yield. Captain Trent's voice rang across all comms, resolute and commanding: "Rest. Recover. Prepare. The next wave will come, but humanity is ready. Humanity fights. Humanity endures. Humanity wins." And in the shadows of the Deathworld, humans prepared for the horrors yet to come, their resolve unshaken, their spirit unbreakable, and their dominance unchallenged. The aftermath of the human counterstrike left the Deathworld scarred, twisted, and transformed. Craters dotted the jagged plains, Titans lay broken in massive fissures, and predators prowled the battlefield with alert intelligence. For a moment, humanity felt a brief, precious sense of accomplishment. But the galaxy is never silent for long. From the void, the alien armada regrouped, larger, deadlier, and angrier than ever. Commander Varkan's flagship rose from the shadows of orbit, energy shields shimmering like angry stars. Reports poured in, losses were catastrophic, morale was shaken, yet vengeance still burned bright. Varkan's eyes glowed with cold fury as he surveyed the Deathworld below. "They think their tricks and monsters can defeat us," he hissed. "They think humans can survive the horrors we bring. They are wrong. Twice wrong. This time, we strike with everything. No mercy. No hesitation. Total annihilation." Human sensors picked up the approaching fleet, massive warships, bristling with weapons far beyond what had been used before. The sky darkened as alien vessels cast shadows across the toxic clouds. Human squads readied themselves, but this attack was different. The aliens had learned from their previous defeats, they would not underestimate humans again. Every tactic, every move, every Deathworld hazard that had worked in humanity's favor would now be countered. Captain Elias Trent stood on a high ridge, eyes locked on the horizon. "Their return," he said calmly but with intensity. "Stronger. Angrier. But we have faced horrors before. We have survived titans, predators, and a planet itself. We will survive this, and we will strike back harder." Lieutenant Kira Voss moved among squads, rallying the soldiers. "Remember what we fight for," she urged, voice carrying across comms. "Every life lost, every scar, every tear, this is why we endure. This is why we fight. Humanity is unbreakable. Humanity survives. Humanity triumphs." The first salvo of the alien strike shattered the Deathworld sky. Energy lances scorched the plains, plasma beams cut through ridges, and missiles erupted with thunderous force. Human squads took cover behind jagged rocks, cliffs, and cratered terrain, returning fire where possible, but the sheer scale of the attack was overwhelming. Yet even in the face of such devastating force, human courage did not waver. Captain Trent deployed squads in layered formations, forcing the alien fleet to overextend into traps and ambushes. Explosive fungi lined deep canyons, acid geysers erupted along predicted paths, and predators coordinated strikes from every angle. Humans moved like shadows through chaos, striking decisively and vanishing before retaliation could hit. Alien war machines advanced relentlessly, but the Deathworld itself seemed to rise in defense of humanity. Tremors split the ground beneath alien columns, fissures opened under their feet, and enormous predators lunged at vulnerable flanks. Even the Titans, once hidden, stirred from the depths, responding to humanity's silent call. The battlefield became a theater of war, where strategy, courage, and the raw power of the Deathworld combined to challenge the aliens in ways they had never imagined. Amid the battle, emotions ran high. Soldiers fought with fury and fear intertwined. Lieutenant Voss carried wounded comrades through fire and debris, refusing to leave anyone behind. "We endure," she whispered through tears. "We survive. We fight. We conquer. For them. For Earth. For humanity." Her words resonated across comms, reaching squads scattered across the battlefield, binding them with courage and determination. Captain Trent coordinated human countermeasures with brilliance born of experience. Squads acted as decoys, drawing alien fire into traps. Predators were guided with precise timing, striking critical points on massive war machines. Explosions erupted in perfect synchronization, fissures swallowed alien vehicles, and acid rivers corroded weaponry with deadly efficiency. Every move was deliberate, every strike lethal, every human action amplified by Deathworld's deadly terrain. The alien commanders were shocked. Varkan's fury grew as human tactics continued to outmaneuver them. Every column of war machines lost cohesion, every wave of soldiers faced ambush, and every aerial unit encountered predators it could not anticipate. The sheer adaptability, intelligence, and coordination of humans, and their bond with the Deathworld itself, turned the tide once again. Hours of relentless combat passed, and the alien forces began to falter. Massive warships were crippled, energy shields failing under relentless pressure. Titans moved unpredictably, caught in ambushes, and predators tore through exposed ranks. Human squads pressed forward with unwavering determination, each movement precise, each strike devastating. Despite the overwhelming enemy force, human losses were minimized through coordination, strategy, and sheer bravery. Each fallen soldier became a symbol, a reminder of the stakes and a catalyst for renewed ferocity. Captain Trent stood atop a ridge, observing squads recovering the wounded and preparing for the next wave. "We fight for each other. We endure for each other. We survive, because we must. Humanity is stronger than any force that threatens us." The alien counterstrike reached its climax as Varkon deployed experimental war machines designed to crush Deathworld defenses. Massive, armored titans bristling with weapons emerged, their every movement shaking the ground. Energy beams fired indiscriminately, melting terrain, and alien shock troops advanced under their cover. The humans faced their greatest test yet, but they did not falter. Lieutenant Voss coordinated an ambush of unprecedented scale. Explosive fungi, acid geysers, predators, and precise squad maneuvers converged, striking the experimental titans with deadly precision. The ground trembled as massive explosions tore through alien forces, fissures swallowed war machines, and predators struck with lethal accuracy. Alien soldiers screamed, falling to Deathworld's fury and humanity's coordination. By the end of the night, The alien forces were in full retreat. Their experimental titans destroyed, columns scattered, and morale shattered. Humanity had endured the full force of the enemy's wrath, and survived, stronger and more unified than ever. Captain Trent surveyed the battlefield, pride and sorrow mingling in his eyes. Smoke rose from fissures, predators prowled among wreckage, and human squads tended to the wounded. "We have shown them what humanity means," he said softly. "Courage, intelligence, resilience. We do not yield. We do not fear. We endure, and we conquer." Lieutenant Voss looked toward the horizon, exhausted but resolute. "We are humans," she whispered. "No alien, no ancient threat, no nightmare predator, can break us. We endure horrors, we master them, and we strike back with all our strength. They will never forget this. We will never forget this." The Deathworld pulsed softly beneath their feet, alive and eternal, witnessing humanity's triumph. Humans had faced the full might of a vengeful alien fleet and survived, adapted, and delivered a counterstrike that would echo across the galaxy. Humanity had once again proven, to face humans is to face courage beyond reason, intelligence beyond calculation, and a spirit that refuses to yield. Captain Trent's voice carried across comms, resolute: "Rest. Recover. Prepare. The next wave will come. The enemy is relentless, but so are we. Humanity fights. Humanity survives. Humanity dominates." And in the shadows of the Deathworld, humans prepared for the horrors yet to come, ready to face the next wave with unwavering courage and unbreakable will. The Deathworld lay in ruins, scarred by explosions, fissures, and the constant clash of predators and alien forces. Smoke twisted into the toxic sky, a dark testament to the horrors unleashed in the last wave. Yet amid the chaos, humanity stood unbroken. Captain Elias Trent surveyed the battlefield from a ridge, his eyes taking in the carnage and the survivors alike. Every fallen comrade, every destroyed war machine, every predator's sacrifice had brought them to this moment. "They thought we were weak," Trent said softly, voice carrying across comms. "They thought Deathworld would break us. They thought fear could defeat humanity. They were wrong. Twice wrong. Today, humanity does not merely fight. Today, humanity dominates." Lieutenant Kira Voss moved among squads, her armor scorched, her face streaked with soot and sweat, but her eyes burned with determination. "Every strike we have made," she said, "every predator we've guided, every trap we've set, it all leads to this. They are learning, but we adapt faster. Humanity does not just survive, humanity conquers." From orbit, alien commanders observed with growing terror. Massive warships had been destroyed, experimental titans annihilated, and their soldiers scattered. Panic spread through the alien ranks, their previous confidence had crumbled, replaced with disbelief and fear. Yet they attempted to regroup, deploying new formations and heavier weapons. They would not surrender, not yet, but the galaxy itself seemed to shift against them. Captain Trent activated the Deathworld's hidden weapons network. Hidden lava geysers, acid rivers, and explosive rock formations, engineered by humans over decades of training, were triggered in perfect synchronization. Alien war machines were flung into molten fissures, shields melted under chemical attacks, and titans were herded toward natural death traps with surgical precision. Every movement of the humans was coordinated, every strike amplified by the planet itself. The battlefield erupted into chaos. Explosions rocked the ridges, predators leapt from shadows with deadly accuracy, and human squads moved like shadows, unseen and unstoppable. Even the ancient titans, once terrifying in their power, faltered under the relentless assault. Acid streams corroded their armor, explosive fungi shattered limbs, and coordinated strikes from human squads left them disoriented and broken. Amid the carnage, human emotion ran raw and unfiltered. Lieutenant Voss carried a wounded soldier through fire and rubble, refusing to leave him behind despite the chaos. "We endure," she whispered, voice shaking but firm. "We survive. We fight. We conquer. For them. For Earth. For humanity." Her words spread across the comms, inspiring squads scattered across the battlefield to fight with renewed courage. Captain Trent orchestrated the final phase of the domination. Squads advanced in layered formations, predators guided with precision, and the Deathworld itself became an instrument of destruction. Titans were funneled into fissures, alien soldiers trapped in collapsing cliffs, and experimental war machines were torn apart by the combined force of humans and terrain. Every strike was deliberate, every action calculated, every predator's movement timed to perfection. The aliens attempted a counterattack, deploying their elite shock troops and aerial units. Plasma beams scorched the earth, energy lances tore through terrain, and missiles rained down with deadly precision. But humanity had anticipated every move. Squads dodged and countered, predators struck critical points, and environmental hazards amplified the damage. Alien formations crumbled under pressure, their morale shattered beyond repair. Hours of relentless combat pushed humanity to the brink, but their will remained unbroken. Every fallen soldier, every scarred predator, every wounded comrade became a symbol, a catalyst for renewed determination. Captain Trent stood amidst the chaos, his voice cutting through the comms. We fight for each other. We endure for each other. We survive because we must. Humanity is unstoppable. Humanity dominates. The battlefield became a living testament to human strategy, courage, and ingenuity. Titans fell one by one, alien war machines were reduced to molten wreckage, and predators prowled victorious among the remains. Humanity had taken every horror, every challenge, and turned it into an advantage. The Deathworld itself had become an extension of human will, a weapon that could annihilate any foe. Lieutenant Voss looked across the devastated battlefield, her heart heavy with loss yet soaring with pride. We survive horrors beyond imagination, she whispered. We master them. We turn death into power. They will never forget the strength of humanity. We will never forget. Captain Trent activated the final traps, ensuring that no alien force could regroup. Energy pulses from underground reactors erupted, fissures swallowed remaining war machines, and predators struck the last exposed units with lethal efficiency. The alien fleet was destroyed or in full retreat. Humanity had not just survived the Deathworld, they had mastered it, dominated it, and turned every threat into a testament of human resilience. The emotional toll was immense. Soldiers wept for comrades lost, predators mourned their fallen, and yet the spirit of humanity burned brighter than ever. Every act of courage, every sacrifice, every heartbeat in the chaos had built a legacy. Humanity was no longer merely a species, it was a force of nature, unstoppable, resilient, and infinitely adaptive. Captain Trent surveyed the horizon. The Deathworld pulsed beneath their feet, alive and eternal, witnessing the full extent of humanity's triumph. We have shown them, he said softly, what humans are capable of. Courage, intelligence, and an unbreakable will. We endure when all seems lost. We dominate when hope is gone. We are humans, and no force in the galaxy can stop us. Lieutenant Voss, exhausted yet resolute, added, we fight for Earth. We survive for each other. We conquer for humanity. Every alien, every ancient titan, every predator knows this now. Humanity is unstoppable. Humanity is eternal. Humanity dominates. As the Deathworld settled into a tense calm, humans began to regroup, tending to the wounded, honoring the fallen, and preparing for whatever horrors the universe might yet throw at them. They had faced the full force of alien vengeance, titans older than stars, and a planet designed to kill, and yet they had survived, adapted, and conquered. The galaxy would remember this day. Every pulse of the Deathworld, every roar of the predators, every soldier's heartbeat was a testament to a simple truth. To face humans is to face courage beyond reason, intelligence beyond calculation, and a spirit that refuses to yield. Captain Trent's voice rang through the comms one final time that night, resolute and commanding, rest. Recover. Prepare. The universe will continue to test us, but humanity will endure. Humanity fights. Humanity survives. Humanity dominates. Always. And in the shadows of the Deathworld, humans prepared for the next trials, their courage unbroken, their will unshakable, and their dominance undeniable. The Deathworld lay scarred and trembling. Smoke curled into the toxic sky, fissures split the ground, and predators prowled the jagged terrain, their eyes reflecting the chaos that had become their home. Humanity had endured wave after wave of alien vengeance and ancient titans, yet every victory brought a deeper challenge. From the void above, the alien commanders were gathering their final forces. Commander Varkan's flagship blazed with light, an ominous beacon of fury and desperation. The alien fleet had suffered devastating losses, but it was relentless. They had learned from every defeat, adapted to every ambush, and now they would unleash everything. "Prepare for annihilation," Varkon hissed to his lieutenants. "They have survived Deathworld horrors, Titans, and our first strikes. This time, we will leave nothing standing. Humanity will pay for their arrogance." Captain Elias Trent stood atop a ridge, overlooking the Deathworld's ruined surface. His jaw was tight, eyes sharp, but his heart burned with unyielding resolve. "They think they can break us," he said to Lieutenant Kiravos, voice steady despite the exhaustion. "They think they can outmatch us. But humans are not just fighters. We endure, we adapt, we conquer. Today, we show them the true meaning of survival. Today, we strike back with everything we have." Squads of humans moved with precision, guiding predators, priming explosive traps, and preparing ambush points across the fractured landscape. Even the Titans, ancient and powerful, responded to subtle human signals, aligning with their tactics. Every human, every predator, every aspect of Deathworld itself was poised for the ultimate confrontation. The first wave struck with terrifying force. Alien warships fired plasma beams, tearing into mountains and craters. Massive Titans descended from orbit, their armor bristling with weapons, energy shields humming with devastating potential. Alien soldiers advanced in perfect coordination, their advanced technology designed to crush any resistance. Yet humanity had prepared for this moment. Squads lured alien columns into Deathworld's traps, acid geysers, collapsing cliffs, explosive fungi, and predator ambushes. Every move was synchronized, every strike amplified by human intelligence and Deathworld's deadly terrain. Alien Titans stumbled into fissures, energy shields faltered under chemical attacks, and war machines were torn apart by precise human strikes. Amid the chaos, emotions surged. Soldiers fought with fear, courage, sorrow, and determination intertwined. Lieutenant Voss carried a wounded comrade through fire and debris, refusing to leave him behind. "We endure for them," she whispered. "We survive for each other. We fight for humanity. No one is left behind. No one is forgotten." Her words resonated across comms, inspiring squads scattered across the battlefield to fight with renewed resolve. Captain Trent directed squads with strategic brilliance. "Flank from the east. Funnel Titans into the lava fissures. Use every predator, every trap, every weapon we have." Explosions tore through the battlefield, energy pulses scorched the air, and predators struck with lethal precision. Every human movement was deliberate, every strike calculated, every action designed to turn fear into advantage. The alien commanders were shocked. Every wave they deployed faltered, their Titans trapped, war machines destroyed, and soldiers overwhelmed. Even the ancient Titans, once thought invincible, were being neutralized with deadly efficiency. Humanity had turned the Deathworld itself into a weapon, a battlefield where strategy, courage, and intelligence triumphed over sheer force. Hours of relentless combat pushed humanity to their limits. Squads were scattered, resources depleted, and soldiers exhausted, yet their will did not break. Every loss became a catalyst, every scar a lesson, every heartbeat a symbol of unyielding determination. Captain Trent stood amidst the chaos, voice cutting through comms with unwavering authority. "We fight for each other. We endure for each other. We survive, and we conquer. Humanity dominates because humanity refuses to yield." Alien commanders, seeing their final forces crumble, attempted desperate maneuvers. Titans fired indiscriminately, warships unleashed everything they had, and shock troops advanced with reckless abandon. But humans anticipated every move. Predators struck weak points, explosive traps detonated with surgical precision, and squads executed flawless counterattacks. Alien formations fell apart, morale shattered, and Varkon's fury reached a fever pitch. In the heart of the battlefield, Lieutenant Voss faced the enemy's elite shock squad. Plasma beams seared the air, energy shields flared, and chaos reigned. Yet with calm precision, she directed predators and squads, coordinating strikes that dismantled the enemy unit. Every action was a testament to humanity's adaptability, intelligence, and unbreakable spirit. Captain Trent confronted the last alien Titan personally, a colossal machine bristling with energy weapons. He guided a squad to lure it toward a volcanic fissure. Explosive fungi detonated beneath it, fissures split open, and predators attacked from all sides. The Titan faltered, armor cracking, energy shields failing, and finally collapsed into molten lava. Humanity had conquered the final symbol of alien power. The battlefield fell silent. Smoke rose from fissures, predators prowled among wreckage, and human squads tended to the wounded and honored the fallen. Captain Trent surveyed the scene, exhaustion and pride mingling in his gaze. We have survived horrors beyond imagination. We have turned every threat into victory. We endure, we adapt, and we conquer. Humanity is unstoppable. Lieutenant Voss looked toward the horizon, voice steady despite fatigue. No alien, no titan, no Deathworld hazard can break us. We endure, we master, we strike back. Humanity dominates. Humanity survives. Humanity conquers. Today, the universe knows our strength. The Deathworld pulsed softly beneath their feet, alive and eternal, bearing witness to humanity's ultimate triumph. The alien fleet was destroyed or in retreat, their forces shattered, and their will broken. Humanity had survived wave after wave of unimaginable threats, adapted to every horror, and unleashed a counterstrike so complete it would echo across galaxies. Captain Trent's voice rang through comms one final time that day, resolute and commanding: rest. Recover. Prepare. The galaxy will continue to test us, but humanity will endure. Humanity fights. Humanity survives. Humanity dominates. Always. And as night fell across the Deathworld, humans stood victorious, their courage unbroken, their will unshakable, and their dominance undeniable. The ultimate showdown had been fought, and humanity had proven, once again, that nothing could stand against the indomitable spirit of humans. The Deathworld was silent. Not the silence of peace, but the heavy, trembling calm that follows unimaginable chaos. Craters dotted the jagged plains, fissures still hissed molten gases, and predators prowled cautiously among the wreckage. Smoke lingered in the air, carrying the scent of scorched rock, burnt machinery, and blood. Humanity had survived. Humanity had conquered. Humanity had endured horrors no species had ever faced and had emerged victorious. Captain Elias Trent stood atop a high ridge, overlooking the devastated battlefield. His armor was scorched, his body battered, but his eyes held the same unwavering resolve that had guided humans through every trial. The Deathworld, once a place designed to kill and terrify, had become a testament to human ingenuity and courage. Every trap, every predator, every tactical maneuver had worked in harmony to bring victory. And yet, the cost was written across every soldier's face, every crater, every fallen comrade. Lieutenant Kira Voss moved among the squads, her face streaked with soot and tears. She carried the wounded, reassured the fearful, and honored the fallen. "We survived," she whispered to herself, voice breaking but resolute. "We endured the horrors, mastered the chaos, and emerged alive. For every friend we lost, we fight harder. For every tear, we endure stronger. Humanity survives." The alien remnants had retreated, leaving behind broken machines, shattered warships, and a trail of defeat. Commander Varkan's flagship had been destroyed in the final clash, its bridge swallowed by a Deathworld fissure. Reports from human scouts confirmed that the alien fleet had suffered catastrophic losses, its morale shattered, and its command structure in ruins. Humanity had proven itself, not merely as survivors, but as masters of the battlefield. Captain Trent convened a meeting with squad leaders atop the highest ridge. The view was grim. The Deathworld's toxic sun cast long shadows over the devastated landscape, molten fissures still burned, and predators prowled among wreckage. Yet, amid the destruction, a strange sense of pride and unity emerged. Every survivor knew they had participated in something extraordinary. "We fought against impossible odds," Trent began, voice steady, cutting through the whispering wind. "We faced alien fleets, ancient titans, predators born of Deathworld, and a planet that itself seemed alive with malice. And yet, here we stand. Humanity survives. Humanity dominates. Humanity endures. Every scar, every loss, every victory will be remembered. This battle is not the end, it is our legacy." Lieutenant Voss stepped forward, her voice firm. "We survived horrors beyond comprehension. We faced death at every turn and still fought with courage and precision. Every squad, every soldier, every predator played a role in shaping this victory. Humanity's spirit is stronger than any force the galaxy can throw at us. We have proven that together, nothing can break us." The battlefield was quiet now, but the echoes of war remained. Predators lay beside human squads, injured but alive, symbols of the bond between Earth's inhabitants and the wilds of Deathworld. Fissures still hissed molten gases, craters still smoked, and scattered alien war machines dotted the landscape like monuments of defeat. Humanity had survived not just because of technology or weapons, but because of their courage, intelligence, and unwavering will. Captain Trent moved to the edge of a fissure, staring at the remains of the final alien titan. "We have faced the impossible," he said softly, voice carrying across the battlefield. "We have turned death into victory, chaos into order, fear into strength. Humanity is no longer merely a species. We are a force, a legacy, a testament to endurance, intelligence, and courage. Every corner of this galaxy will remember what it means to face humans." The human squads began recovery operations. Wounded soldiers were treated, predators tended to, and the fallen honored. Each loss was remembered, each act of courage celebrated. The bonds forged in fire and blood ran deep, unbroken even amid grief. Humanity's victory was not just tactical, it was emotional, moral, and spiritual. As night fell over the Deathworld, the toxic sky glittered with the distant light of alien remnants retreating into the void. Captain Trent gathered the survivors, his face stern but proud. "The battle is over, but our work continues. We rebuild, we learn, and we prepare. The galaxy will test us again, but humanity endures. Humanity survives. Humanity dominates. And most importantly, humanity remembers. Every sacrifice, every victory, every moment of courage becomes part of our legacy." Lieutenant Voss looked toward the horizon, where the stars of the alien armada faded into darkness. "We have survived horrors beyond imagination," she whispered, voice steady despite exhaustion. "We have conquered titans, defeated alien fleets, and mastered the Deathworld itself. Humanity's spirit shines brighter than any weapon, stronger than any force, unbreakable in every way. This is our legacy. This is who we are." The Deathworld pulsed softly beneath their feet, alive and eternal, a witness to the triumph of humans over impossible odds. Smoke rose from fissures, predators prowled among wreckage, and human squads tended to the wounded and honored the fallen. Every heartbeat, every act of bravery, every drop of blood spilled had built a story that would be remembered across the galaxy. Humanity had survived, adapted, and conquered, not for glory, but for survival, unity, and the unyielding spirit of their species. Captain Trent's voice carried one last time across the comms. "We are humans. We endure. We survive. We conquer. And we will never forget. Our legacy is written not in fear, but in courage. Not in defeat, but in victory. Not in despair, but in the unbreakable spirit of humanity. The galaxy will remember us. Always." And as the stars shimmered above the Deathworld, humans prepared for the next chapter of their existence. They had faced horrors beyond imagination, survived the unimaginable, and proven a truth no force could deny. To face humans is to face courage beyond reason, intelligence beyond calculation, and a spirit that refuses to yield. Humanity endures, dominates, and conquers. Always.